Hi, Quan. Now, this is the fourth day of Venus being in the underworld. And let me just say that we awakened to a new moon this morning at about 9:54 a.m. Central Daylight Time. And on the ascendant in this new moon is Libra. So this is new moons happen every 28 days. So this one being ruled by Venus and a retrograde Venus at that, we'll be looking at the future, our ability to participate as an individual in our chosen communities, our chosen subcultures, our ability to understand how we may sometimes see ourselves and predict an outsider kind of a cast, that we set up situations where we end up not only being othered, or we end up being shunned or scapegoated or whatever. So look at the time periods in 2007, 1999, 1991, 1983, and see if there are time periods that this frame that you're working on. Where do I fit in? Where do I belong? Who are my chosen people? Remember, Venus rules all the relationships that we choose to have. The moon represents our bloodline, the mother from which we come, and then the families that rest with that. But Venus is when we say, hey, look, you're my sister girl. You're the one who I want to spend time with. So this new moon being in Leo with the Venus there, so Sun, Moon, Venus are all conjoined in Leo, it is a time period that we're getting a concentrated lesson on what does it mean to be truly authentic, to be truly our spiritual beings that may or may not belong to a church or not, but ultimately the church or the abodes that the Christ talked about deal with the ability to understand ourselves as innately spiritual beings. We are our own judges, juries, and executioners. Our higher selves do that. So don't get it twisted in thinking that we need someone outside of ourselves to tell us whether or not we are perfected in our own spirits. Now, this new moon also has Mars in Leo. He just went into Leo Saturday, on the 7th, the 8th of August. And so we are all being tested on how do we use our hero warrior from an authentic space where we're all children of God, if that works for you. But ultimately, new moons are an excellent time to make intentional magic, to say, this is how I want reality to bend to my will. And with it being in the willful sign of Leo, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. That's Jupiter in Virgo until next September, October of 16. This is an excellent new moon to not only do that work of excavating from our underworlds, from our Mayan underworlds where Venus is, to understand what is the nature of our heartfelt desires and how can we manifest them. And I'll tell you, those of us who know whether or not we're morning or evening star, whether we're the warrior active yang side of Venus or whether we're the yin lover receptive side of Venus, we're a little bit ahead of the game. Because remember, this concept was written about 4 years ago. So the fact that you're even listening to this and you understand that Venus has a morning and an evening star phase, you're what W.E.B. Du Bois would say, you're in the talented 10th. So ask somebody. I'm sure somebody can explain what that means, but ultimately what it means in this setting is that you're a little bit ahead of the game if you just answer yourself one question and you're able to answer it. Am I morning or evening? Do I have a morning or evening star? That can go a long way with understanding what intentional magic you can set up for this new moon and then even tomorrow on the 15th, which represents the actual Venus star alignment at 2:22 p.m. Central Daylight Time. I'm Quan on this fourth day of Venus in the Underworld.